The Alzheimer Cafe is inspiring, it's motivational. The more you come, the more you want to come.
They were there to support you through your journey, and you become like a little family.
The Alzheimer Cafe is quite unique because it offers something that is not available through the statutory services or any other voluntary service.
It's welcoming for everybody, whether you've got Alzheimer's, whether you're a carer, or whether you just want to come along and find out a bit more and meet some new people.
Happy 10th birthday, Alzheimer Cafe!
I first wrote about it in the preface of a book that came out in 1999. And by 2000, the first cafe was opened up in Farnborough. I met Maggie in 2008. She was doing a course with me. And by 2009, she announced she wanted a cafe on the island, and she wanted it fast, and she wanted it for everybody.
It just seemed like the right way to do things, to get people enthused, to help them understand that there's support out there, that people with a good education about dementia are going to be able to help.
So she basically did what nobody else has done before. Within 4 months, she had a cafe up and running here. You people have done it in a way that nobody else in the world has done it. You've done some very exceptional things.
We offer an open door policy to anybody, whether they are newly diagnosed or whether they've been on their journey for some time, to come in and mix with people who are very much like them. I found the value of it as a carer when my wife was living at home. It's getting the message out to people who may be experiencing that dreadful moment when diagnosis is first given. What next? I've got this dreadful illness. It's life determining. Who's going to help me? Well, the answer is come to an Alzheimer Cafe and you'll meet a lot of people in the same boat, and you'll get a lot of sympathy, but also a great deal of empathy, which is very important because most people, if not everybody here, has had some first-hand experience of living with dementia in the community.
For some of these people, they don't get to go anywhere and they feel safe coming to the cafes. If they've got a relative with dementia, they don't have to worry if their behaviour's different. Everybody's here in the same situation. A lot of us are carers as well, who can help with their relative and they're able to relax. So for me, it's as important to the carers as it is for the person with the dementia.
People feel that it doesn't matter if their emotions run away with themselves, because sometimes carers are facing enormous stresses in their day-to-day support of their loved ones. The monthly meetings offers an opportunity where they can exchange ideas with other carers and relax.
Well, my husband was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's in 2011. It was a shock, and I think it took me a year to actually take it on board. But they were such a help, so supportive. You know, we go every month as long as we can, and through Mark's journey, they've supported us through all of this. And like I say, I don't really know what I would have done without them. Without the Alzheimer Cafe, I wouldn't have a direction to go forward. They have been like an arm round your shoulder. I think that it would have been a very, very different case, because they were the only people that have actually done anything for us over the 8-year journey that we've had. We haven't had any other practical help except from the voluntary organisation, and we held Mark's 70th birthday party there last month.
I think a lot of it's about being labelled. I think when people have a diagnosis of any description, but perhaps specifically Alzheimer's, that they're just seen as a label, somebody with that condition, rather than I'm still me, I'm still a person with interests, with a lot to offer, with conversation. I still want to do other things. I'm not just somebody who needs lots of services thrown at me. I might need those as well, but I need to be recognised for who I am. And I think the Alzheimer's Cafe gives people that opportunity, and they are treated in that way. You know, this is Joan or Mary or Peter. It's not, this is Peter with Alzheimer's. This is Peter who lives in Newport and comes to the Alzheimer's Cafe and joins you with other people.
One of the very early comments was, "My dear husband has not felt comfortable to be away from my side for months and months and months until tonight. And that, if you can replicate it again and again and again, those handholds for safety that people desperately need are so important.
There's always some sort of educational element. We look at the sort of stresses and strains of everyday living with dementia in the community, and we offer a little bit of support on maybe how we can cope with this problem, how we can cope with that problem, where we can turn to if we're really desperate.
What I like about the cafe is that the talks that they give you, it's no nonsense. They don't mess around. They tell you what's what. They don't avoid the difficult subjects. So you've got a pretty good idea from the onset about what to expect, even though they can't tell you when.
The Alzheimer Cafe is an amazing thing that I feel is almost unique to the Isle of Wight. At an Alzheimer Cafe, I would try to provide some music to make people feel elated, a sense of occasion, something that's both a fantastically strong memory, but also something that is uplifting. I hope they would take away a sense of having had a real party.
Well over 200 people every month visit. That's a huge number of people, because I always feel the ripple effect is going to be so much bigger. They talk to other people, and I hear little snippets of our education coming through from all sorts of areas, and you think, wow, we really are getting there.
The original vision started with this idea of we have to meet some of the invisible needs that people have around their emotions for what's happening to their insides while everything else is going on. And I'm very pleased to have been involved in this adventure.
The people you meet teach you, so you think you're actually educating them, but really it's the other way around, because every single person with dementia is different. We all know that, but it's so true. And only when you come to the cafe and you meet them with their families, and you see some of the pain and the anxiousness and some of the fear and distress that's there, but on the other hand, you also see the joy of still being with that family person.
Amazing. I can't believe where 10 years has gone. It's great. I'm glad, and it's getting stronger and stronger on the island.
So the Isle of Wight has the record for the most number of cafes in any particular defined area in the whole of the United Kingdom. You also have the only cafe in the world, to my knowledge, for people with early onset type dementing illnesses. And that's a spectacular accomplishment.
It just goes on and on. It's incredible, really. Its own energy has come from inside it. If I look at what we've achieved in 10 years, I certainly can see what the possibilities are for the next 10 years, and it doesn't fill me with anything other than, excitement, really, to keep it going. There's a future in this, a huge future for everyone.